You have now entered into Tony Tone's world. The Tony Tone's world.
Is I'm a little surprised you're wearing that jersey. Aren't they like
they
ass
suck
right now?
They suck.
Yeah, I was about to say they went from like being on top for a few years to just now they're just like the bottom of the barrel.
Well, they got rid of like Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane and like all their all-stars. They basically had to rebuild just because they had to rebuild.
They traded everybody away, didn't they?
Yeah, they got a bunch of assets, but they got the number 1 pick a couple of years ago. And that's like the only bright spot right this second. But yeah, they're not doing too well. But I still like the jersey. I like going to the games itself. My brother-in-law just went to the game a couple weeks ago, and he said it was the most boringest shit ever. And I'm like, well, he doesn't watch soccer or hockey at all, so kind of made sense. But I mean, I don't know. It's a whole like, I don't know. I feel like at hockey games, it's just like a big ass party. Everybody's drinking to have fun, and especially at the Madison or in Chicago, I mean, they just go straight from the national anthem. Everybody's drinking, screaming, and shit. So it's like a whole vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the jersey. It's a nice jersey. I at one point when you were trying to get me into hockey, I was debating between going against picking an LA team and the LA Kings, and maybe going with the Blackhawks. But
how convenient they actually started winning, and you're a Kings fan now.
No. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a Kings fan in general. I did go to one Kings game this year for work. We had a suite, and I will say I was a little. I guess I felt what your friend said a little bit, just because
if you don't follow hockey and you don't know what's going on, there's no commentary. It's hard to keep up with the puck depending on where you're sitting.
Well, that was a factor, but then they didn't score at all.
It was boring, like a soccer game almost.
There was one goal scored, and it was in the third period, and it was like, oh, okay, this is fun, and it wasn't even scored by the LA Kings, so yeah, it was like, well, this is just a shitty game. To me, it's like if a hockey game's gonna pop off, like I need some hard checking, I need some goals scored, I need a fight. Like I'm sorry, I don't feel like I'm at a hockey game if I don't see at least one fight. I get they don't fight every single game, match, whatever, but I need a fight, man. I just do. That they got an enforcer on the team for a reason. I need a fight.
Yeah, we used to have a guy named Dustin Bufflin. He was a fucking big ass dude in the back, just fucking being the enforcer. It's pretty dope. I don't know. At playoff hockey is totally different too. Like if you actually are in hockey and your team makes it to playoffs, like it's just so like nail biting. Even if it is just the one goal, it is pretty nail biting. But I enjoy it. I haven't really watched too many games this year because it's hard to watch a losing team after. I mean, fucking the Bears. I mean,
I was about to say. Well,
man, dude, the Bears, eight loss in a row.
Isn't it 10?
Is it 10? I thought it was 8.
Oh no, you have 10 total, but you have 8 losses in a row. Yeah. Okay.
Damn, I heard you trying to give us 2 more. Well, fucking, we might as well just chalk up the next 2 losses too. Dude, honestly, I was watching the game just to see what would happen. The first quarter or so, nothing happens. We can't advance the ball for a first down even. It's just pitiful. It's so sad. And then second quarter comes around. I'm watching it. We still have no yards. Like we're just practically doing the same shit we did last couple of games. We just have no offense. And then by halftime, I fell asleep. I woke up. And the game was about to be end. And dude, it was sad. I'm just waiting for next year. Let's just chalk this shit. Let's just simulate this shit like Madden.
That sounds about every year that I won't. You and your naps though, it's kind of funny. You had talked about it like earlier in the season, how you enjoy a good nap on Sunday.
Well, this was on Monday night.
Well, it just seems like you're getting more and more naps on Sundays and Mondays now because, you're falling asleep halfway through the games for, what's funny I was going to tell you is Do you follow? I mean, obviously, I know you follow Barstool, but you see their weekly rankings, power rankings for the football teams.
I haven't seen this week's now.
So they whoever doesn't, they do like these rankings for their football teams, and they're pretty funny. Like because they put teams in like crazy categories, like ass with the good QB is the Patriots. Ass and who even is their QB is the Raiders and the Saints.
Yeah.
Mega Infinity ass is the Jets, the Titans, and the Jaguars. And they actually put a new category this week, and it's called literally hell. And that is for the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. And it's funny because I've watched the Bears slowly fall from because they have like playoff teams and lurking and different categories. I watched the Bears literally all season fall down this list to now the literal bottom and literal hell. And it's
dude, we're not even sniffing nothing. We can't even get a first down, let alone a touchdown. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the O-line. I mean, it starts with the O-line, but we can't get no runs going. Caleb Williams overthrowing people over and over, just not getting the ball off in time, taking horrible sacks. It's just not looking good over here in Chicago Bears land right now. It really isn't.
I was listening to some commentating, and they were talking about the Bears, and they were saying that because they were talking about the coaching job and different things, and they were saying that Caleb Williams is literally the only rookie quarterback this year that hasn't progressed.
Yeah, I saw that. Or I heard something like that too as well.
Yeah, and they were making comparisons to Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and what are the other two other rookies that were going this year? I drawing a blank a second, and I was kind of thinking about it, I'm like, damn, that is a little bit of the truth, just because, and it's not necessarily his fault. I mean, I think he's acclimating to the game somewhat, but his progression as a QB, it's true, it really hasn't. He's shown flashes of what he can do, but that consistency isn't there. It's not, true progression, and it's really unfortunate for him because it really falls down to the coaching. He doesn't have consistent coaching, and there's not consistent anything for him. And it's really what he was saying is it's the most important hiring for the Chicago Bears, period. Like, they cannot fuck this up.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to.
Well, we're going to. In some right way, I mean, some fashion or some way, we're just going to mess it up. I don't have faith in anybody in the Bears right this second. There was a stat that I saw within the last 8 weeks of last year, Justin Fields was averaging, or the Bears were averaging 24 points a game. I'm like, just give me 14, give me 21, give me something to look forward to. But goddamn, man, it's just, it looks like we're a high school offense out there. We just don't know what the fuck we're doing. We just can't protect our quarterback. Again, Caleb Williams, when he does have the ball and he is able to throw it, I mean, most of his throws are just not as accurate as he was in USC. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's rough. Have you heard any speculation on who they're interested in?
Today I heard Mike Vrabel. And then the other top candidates as well, like the guys from the Detroit and stuff.
I'm assuming they're gonna wait for some of these top teams to start exiting the playoffs until they start doing interviews, because there's gonna be some OCs. I feel like they need to go after an OC for the head coach, and they have a tendency to lean towards
defense.
It's what the Bears in Chicago have always been known for, and I understand it's their identity, and it's what people, but
you got to change with the game.
It's an offensive league now. It's an offensive league.
just like basketball was a couple of years ago when D'Antonio was coaching the Suns with Mari Stoudemire and Steve Nash. People were getting them shit because they would go up and down the court and score 130, but they had no defense. But then you have Tom Thibodeau over here trying to still preserve the defensive game, and Greg Popovich and things like that. Defense can only hold so much, but you really actually have to score in this league to even put yourself in a fighting chance to win. And I mean, I don't know, we've just been stuck on this whole defensive mindset, which I get. I love seeing the Bears doing great things on defense. I don't never have to, really worry about our defense, but man, it's just when our offense sucks so bad and we're on the field and off the field so quickly, how do you expect our defense to even gather themselves and catch a breath when they're on the field constantly?
Absolutely. And it's like, even if you look around the league, there are some good defenses out there, but there's not that defense that just stands out. Like, they just shut everyone down, because it doesn't happen anymore. Right. Even the best defenses in the league do not shut anybody down anymore. They still have bad games. They still get, there's some good defenses, but every single one of them have given up a significant amount of points. There's not a single one that you look at and it's just like, I don't want to face that defense.
Right.
Hey, you just don't see that anymore. It's an offensive league, period.
You just have to slow them down, contain them, do as best as you can, and let your offense just outscore the other team.
It's almost like you have to look for opportunities. You got to find those players that are ball hungry, that are looking for turnover opportunities. That punching the ball out is much more important now. You get those corners that are jumping routes.
The Peanut Tillmans, the Kyle Fullers of the world.
Well, yeah, that's way too many Bears that you're throwing in there for that.
But they're all fucking ball headhunters, baby.
But you really need that in this league. And then I feel like, in my opinion, also the linebacker, you need that quality linebacker even more these days too, with some of these people. Obviously defenses all build things differently, but when you got defenses with that one quality guy that is the difference maker in every single game, you're talking
I would say our playmaker would be Jalen Johnson, our cornerback.
Yeah, but
even then he didn't, but Justin Jefferson did have 70 something yards with a touchdown, which, by the way, he screwed me in my other fantasy league.
Really?
I lost by 0.9.
Oh my
0.9, and he dropped a touchdown.
He did jump a touchdown, like a gimme touchdown.
Gimme touchdown.
There was a lot of that this week.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that this week.
Oh, the dude, was it Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball in the end zone?
Jonathan Taylor, and then also one of the guys on Cincinnati who dropped it before he got in the end zone and it went out of the, like, why are we making high school mistakes?
Yeah.
Why are we showboating at that level? Like, what are we doing, guys?
Just get halfway into the end zone and then do whatever you want to do.
What do they get out of doing that? It makes no sense to me. Like, you're not cool. Nobody's waiting for you to drop the ball like that quick. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, it makes no sense other than now you look like the biggest idiot fumbling the bag when it can make the difference of your team winning the game. I saw another, because I get these things on Instagram, and it was somebody was saying the worst losses, and I think it was a guy who had Jonathan Taylor and also had the Cincinnati defense or something like that, and he lost by something similar to what you did. And he would have obviously won if those players would have had those touchdowns in those games. But no, he got screwed over by that as well. Like,
it sucked. My fantasy week, honestly, I was down 40 points and Justin Jefferson almost came, maybe not 40, 30 points or something. Justin Jefferson almost came back and won it for me. Derrick Henry shit the bed on me. He didn't do nothing for me this week. So that was awful. I had Romeo Doubs sitting on the bench with 27 points. So that kind of hurt. I played DK Metcalf over him, so that sucked.
That's in Jigba's team now.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. With the Bears, there was another play. They had an interception on Sam Darnold. It looked promising. The Bears were supposed to, obviously get the interception, score, do something. Of course, we got stopped. We went on it. We went for it on fourth down. We got stopped. That was one play that screwed us. We had a offensive lineman look like Bobby Hill come in, be fullback. Didn't do the simplest thing as checking in with the referee, and they scored the touchdown, but they got it called back because he didn't check in with the referee first.
Ooh, he pulled a Lions player when they didn't check in the playoff game.
Yes. So yeah, all around overall, it was just a bad night. I mean, I don't know. It was just a bad night. I'm glad I slept for most of that third quarter. So it is what it is. I don't know. I don't even know who we got next. I mean, we're
we talked
4-10.
about it though, right? It was like if the Vikings of 2 weeks ago showed up and the Bears of 2 weeks ago also, we knew it was going to be bad, right? Like we kind of,
dude, we could honestly go winless for the rest of the season. We play the Lions next, the Seahawks, and then the Packers. That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
that's not going to be hard to do.
No,
like, I'm going to be on. Like, if we're being completely honest right now, the only team that you might have a chance against
is the Seahawks.
And maybe the Packers, being that's the last game, if they sit people, depending on where it is. If they sit people, you might have
you're right.
In there. There's always that X factor, but yeah, that's rough.
Damn, maybe I'll look at some Bears tickets for the day after Christmas. I always like me a good tailgate. All right, let's go to the Cowboys. Dude, Cowboys, surprisingly, they're technically still in the hunt, which will amaze me if they actually make the playoffs.
Yeah, I saw something that said Mike McCarthy might actually be working his way to get his job back. And I'm like, I still feel like, I mean, again, they're beating the teams that they should, right? Like they should beat the Panthers. They should have beat the Giants. They should have beat, what was the other team that they beat? Like they probably should have beat the Bengals last week, in all honesty, but I mean, watch, they're going to go and lose the next 3 games. Realistically, like that's the Bucks are playing a really great right now. They probably lose to the Bucks. The Eagles are a top 5 team that are just beating everybody
at home.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to beat us, and then the Commanders are going to want to get some. Commanders may need that to lock down a good position, so they probably start all their starters depending on how the playoffs look. So we have potential to lose the rest of our games as well. So I don't have any hope for the playoffs. I'm just being honest. Will I want them to meet those teams? Hell yeah! Like always, I'll be rooting for them. But realistically, just because we beat the Panthers doesn't get me all excited, thinking, "Oh my God, we can win, we can play again." No, we beat the Panthers. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'll say the consistent bright spot in this is once again the run game looked good. Granted, again, it was against the Panthers, who have a horrible run defense, but Rico Dowdle for the 3rd week in a row went over 100 and something yards. I think he had 150, if I'm not mistaken. So another quality game from him. CeeDee Lamb had a good game as well. So yeah, I mean, there's it's good to see some of those things. But it's the next 3 are going to be really interesting, and I am still on 100% on the train that we need to move on from Mike McCarthy.
Gotcha. 100%. All right. First game up that I won't talk about is the Commanders and Saints. I didn't think this game was going to be that close at all. I thought it's the Saints. I don't even know who their quarterback is. I think they played 3 quarterbacks at one point in time in this game. Derek Carr is not coming back this year. He had some like rescans or something like that from the doctors that said he's not coming back this year. So, I mean, who are they going to play at quarterback from now on?
They're playing I think he's a rookie. or maybe he's not a rookie. I don't know. His name's Rattler. I can't remember. I think he actually might be. He might have come from Atlanta, or was he a rookie? I can't remember. But yeah, that's who's starting for him. His name's Rattler.
Spencer.
Nothing. Oh, no. He I think he is a rookie. He's a rookie out of South Carolina. I just pulled it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Washington Commanders were just gonna be able to kind of breeze through the Saints. No pun intended. But for whatever reason, the Saints were able to kind of keep it close there.
Yeah, I don't really know. I know Alvin Kamara got a little banged up in this game too, so I'm a little worried about that myself, just because I am in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs in 2 leagues, and I think I have Alvin Kamara in one of them. Well, I know I have Alvin Kamara in one of them, so I'm a little worried about his. So I'm hoping to pick up Kendre Miller, just to handcuff, just in case. So
I'm gonna pick him up. I haven't picked up anybody than Spencer, or than the Spencer in the waiver wire.
Thanks, asshole. Yeah, nice. Just to spite me because you're not in the playoffs.
And I'm going to sell him to somebody that's in the playoffs.
You can't sell him. You forget I'm commissioner. I have the ability to veto anything you do, right? So yeah, I really don't. I don't know how the Saints were this close in this game. To be honest with you, they didn't really do much offensively. Their running game was non-existent. Yeah, I don't know. I love the fact that Terry McLaurin, who I haven't, although I had the bye week this week because I was in first place in our league. Just throwing that out there. And Terry McLaurin had a nice game, 2 touchdowns and 7 catches for 73 yards. So I love that, although it didn't make a difference. I wish it was probably this week. Hopefully he does it again.
He's gonna lay a little goose egg for you next week.
Mm-hmm. You're so spiteful because you're mad, bro. It's not my fault. I'm always there, and you never.
I should change my shit to the Grinch. What's my background? Do you know the background?
Let me look it up there. No, is that? No, I don't know what it is.
Batman Returns.
I was gonna guess that, but I wasn't positive because it was dark. Yeah. I decided not to because yeah.
Which the new episode of our bracketology for Christmas will be coming out soon. You'll be surprised to see what the public picked as the movies. All right, Chiefs Browns. This one was, well, obviously the golden child went out with an injury in the fourth quarter, a little ankle injury. Supposedly he may not be playing next week. He's going to see what's best for him and the team, but should be interesting. I have a feeling he'll probably be playing. He'll probably suit up. No, actually they clinched, right?
Yeah, I don't think they will. I mean, the only way that he'll play is it depends how badly they want home field advantage.
Yeah.
But Carson Wentz is capable.
Yeah, he is.
But they do play Pittsburgh. They do have a few pretty hard games coming up. That were, it'll definitely make or break if he's playing or not.
Jameis Winston did not have a great game. 146 yards versus 500 yards he almost threw the other game, right? Or a couple weeks ago. Now they're benching him, which is kind of surprising.
I was really surprised that. I mean, I get why they benched him in this game. Like, he was just playing like actual like dog shit. It was bad. So I 100% understand, but the guy has literally been kind of like your. I mean, they're still 3-11, so I guess I can't say he's really done that much. But I mean, he's pushed that offense. He's shown them what the Browns are capable of with a quality quarterback, with quality play, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the fact of maybe they want to see what Dorian Thompson-Robinson is capable of.
Right.
Maybe it's more of like what do we have in him for next year? Do we, what is he worth keeping next year? We know what we have in Jameis Winston. He's a backup. He's not gonna. He may put up great points in some games, so it may be just one of those types of things. The other thing is Nick Chubb got hurt. Nick Chubb is out for the rest of the season as well.
That sucks. He just came back from injury too.
Yeah, so he's only been back for, I want to say, 3 or 4 weeks, and he never even completely took over the offense as a running back. He was still splitting time with Jerome Ford.
Yeah.
So honestly, what that tells me is they're going to move on from Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is going to get let go most likely. I don't know exactly the status of his contract, but the fact that they weren't already relying on him and Jerome Ford had they were split in time, but they just didn't rely on Nick Chubb. So
I mean, Nick Chubb is 28 years old. By the time he comes back, he'll be close to 30.
yeah.
Right? I mean,
I don't know how bad his was. I don't know if he's going to be out for a full year, but
I mean, he broke his foot.
Yeah, but broken foot is not going to be something that keeps him out for as long as a knee. I want to say a broken foot. He'll be back by spring training, back by training camp next week or next year. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I like watching Nick. I mean, I think Nick Chubb's a quality running back for sure. He's a beast. Yeah. But it's sad to see that he actually got injured again. That sucks, man. Mentally, that has to do something to you. That's just all the hard work you put in to come back and actually have some pretty good stats for a couple games, and then bam, get hit with another injury. That sucks. Jerry Jeudy went off again. 11 receptions.
Jerry Jeudy is a beast. He's been a beast this year. It is somebody that I had a strong feeling. I think he's one of the I think there's only 5 wide receivers currently with over 1,000 yards receiving, and he is number 5 on the list, I should say. So, which obviously with 3 games left and already over 1,000 yards, that's a quality year. And keep in mind, he wasn't the number 1 wide receiver on this team for a portion of the year. It was Amari Cooper. So since then he just has gone off. Even in a losing effort, 108 yards, 111 catches. So
yeah,
good for him.
Ravens, Giants, not much to say here, but we expected Ravens to win outright, which they did. I'm glad to see they actually came out and won. They did cover, I believe, in our contest, so it's another good thing to see. But not much to say there. I'm just glad they won. Fuck.
Yeah. That surprising game by Derrick Henry, though. But I guess he wasn't really needed in this game. So maybe it was one of those where they just kind of let him get some rest, maybe? Maybe that was the plan. If they didn't really need him, they didn't run him too much. Because they only had 60 yards, 14 carries, which is a light game for him.
Yeah. Jets and Jaguars. Jets finally won.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Devontae Adams went off on this game, but I don't know. This is one of the storylines I'm really eager to see in the end of the season. I want to see what happens with this whole team.
Dude, I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers has got to go. He's got to go. I know that they don't have much else to lean on, and then it's going to put them in the boat that they're going to have to draft a QB or maybe go trade for somebody.
Yeah.
The problem is they never get it right. The Jets they're sorry, but they're like the Bears in the fact that they cannot get the QB position right.
I was waiting for that.
It's rough. It's hard. It's even when they think they get the guy, he doesn't end up being the guy. And Aaron Rodgers has got to go. He's not.
They just got him a couple years late.
They barely won this game, dude. The Jags almost won this game. Like, it wasn't like a blowout by any means.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Jets are 4-10. I never imagined them being 4-10 at the beginning of the season.
No, because they're much better than that. The team itself, when you look at all the pieces, it's much better than that. I mean, the fact that Devontae Adams had 198 yards and 2 touchdowns.
They had no running. They had no running game. Aaron Rodgers had 45 yards in rushing. Breece Hall had 30.
Yeah, but remember that I talked about that last week. their identity has always been, especially with Breece Hall, has been a rushing attack. But with Aaron Rodgers, it completely changed the game, and now they're just purely a passing team, and they're a team that it's not like they move the ball down the field. They're a chunk play team. Like, they rely on big plays. And in this game, obviously, when you have your wide receiver going for 200 yards in a game, you had some chunk plays. But other than that, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was 16 for 30.
Yeah.
That's not a good game. You know what I mean?
Not a good percentage there.
No, not at all. If he misses the one touchdown pass to Devontae Adams that went for 70 yards and a touchdown, then they lose that game. It's just, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers got to go.
Let me see. Sorry, I was looking at something. Buccaneers and Chargers. Mike Evans. They said it on the broadcast that he's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. I'd agree with that. He's a beast. He's been a beast. When outside of injuries, if he can just stay healthy, he's a fucking great receiver.
Dude,
nine receptions, whore. 9 receptions, 159 yards for 2 touchdowns.
He's a touchdown whore.
Mayfield, 22 for 27. It's a great fucking percentage. Better than 16 and 30.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns and interception. Yeah.
Do we think the Chargers is overrated in defense?
No, I don't think the Chargers defense is overrated. They have a quality defense. They have a lot of turnovers. They just didn't have a great game. So here's the thing with the Chargers, right? And this is the biggest. If you go back to since J.K. Dobbins went down, the Chargers' identity and the way that the coach Harbaugh wants to operate that team is they want to be a running team. They are not a running team with Gus Edwards and the other guy, Vidal or whatever his name is. They can't run the ball. They're putting the ball, they're relying on Justin Herbert, just like when they weren't as great of a team back in the day or back, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. They have good games here and there, but they didn't have any consistency.
Yeah.
But earlier in the season when they were doing well and, it was behind the J.K. Dobbins run attack, and J.K. Dobbins, I think, surprised everybody with how good of a season he had for the, first half of the season. And then he went down with an injury, and the Chargers haven't really looked the same. So to me, that's the reason why they're losing. Granted, the defense did let the Bucks put up 40 points on them, which I didn't expect whatsoever. But yeah, they haven't been the same since J.K. Dobbins went down.
What's their playoff picture, dude? What's their? Let me see. Oh, they're in the hunt right now.
Yep. They're in the hunt. I think they might be a little hurt if some of those other I think if the Falcons start winning some games, that it might affect them. They have the Commanders will probably be right behind them.
Dude, the Cowboys have less than 1% chance to make the playoffs. Yeah, but they are on the bubble technically.
Yeah, put them in eliminated. The fact that the Niners are in the hunt too, that doesn't make any sense to me. Those teams, I guess like statistically they're still there, but
right,
they're not there. Like half of those teams are not there anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's go with see what I get. Oh, the Bills and Lions. Dude. That was a great fucking game.
That was a great game.
I want to change my Super Bowl pick to the Bills. They made the Lions look like trash. Granted, David Montgomery went out of commission for the year.
Well, the Lions actually had like 3 or 4 players go out with injuries, and that's really unfortunate. Obviously Montgomery. They also had a DB, and I want to say
was it offensive line?
I want to say it was D-line. I I think it was 2 guys on their defense they got hurt, but I can't remember specifically. Either way, those are injuries that are going to hurt them, especially David Montgomery. I guess we'll get to see what I had predicted about earlier this year, and if Jamar Gibbs is the only back, how well and how much he'll put up.
Yeah.
So we'll get a little view into that. But even if I still like, I will say this, I'll go on record and say this. I like the combination of them two rather than leaning fully on Jamar Gibbs and going straight with you're not necessarily one dimensional because he's not a one dimensional running back, but going straight with him, I just like the mixture of both of them and the combination that they bring and Sonic and Knuckles and those nicknames, which are actually really dope. That's a dope nickname that they came up with for them. But yeah, that's really unfortunate for Detroit that they lost that. Now they're going to be on the bubble of they have both the Packers and the Vikings on their ass now. Like they literally lose one game, and now they have those two. I think they have the same record as one of them, and the other one's really like sniffing at their ass. Like it's going to be rough for them. But Buffalo did play great. They played a hell of a game. Funny is they basically played the same game that they played last week, but they actually won this one.
Detroit's defense had no answer for Josh Allen. They just literally marched up and down the field and just scored.
Yeah, there is no answer for Josh Allen right now. You have to outscore Josh Allen. You're not stopping that guy.
Yeah.
You have to outscore them. And, that's how the Rams beat them. They just outscored them.
Yeah. So, who does the Bills play next? Bills play Lions, Patriots, Jets. So, or no, I'm sorry, not Lions. Bills. Oh my God. Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
So that's 3 more wins.
Yeah. So that's
which I love it because both of my teams that I have in fantasy, I have Josh Allen in both of those. So, hey, Josh Allen, take me to the promised land, baby, because we're going all the way and taking that. We're bringing home the trophy again.
My other brother-in-law will be very happy if the Bills win. He's a diehard Bills fan. Let's see. Don't really want to talk about Cardinals, Patriots. What a shit show. Eagles and Steelers and Packers and Seahawks is what we have left.
I mean, what happened to your Seahawks, bro? Your boy over there, Geno Smith. What happened?
He didn't get the ball to DK Metcalf. That's what happened.
I don't think it was that. They just got, the Green Bay just...
Josh Jacobs just ran it down their throat.
Yeah, Green Bay is just a much better team right now. Seattle's not it.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that they lose a quarterback and they've revamped like their whole receiving core and everything and running back, and yet they're doing so much better than the Bears are right now? It's just amazing. Like, it's so frustrating. So frustrating being a Bears fan.
Yeah, I mean,
there is no light at the end of the tunnel right now. If I'm stuck in a cave right now, I don't see a light. I just have to keep moving.
Well, Jordan Love's not new to them. He knows that offense, so that's a factor.
Right. No, you're right in that aspect, but how many quarterbacks have we gone through versus how many quarterbacks have they gone through in the last X amount of years, I mean, and they're always stay. Yeah. Unfortunately. All right, fuck the Packers.
I will say with the Pittsburgh and Philly game, I was a little surprised by this game. For a while, it was really boring. It was just like a lull in that game. Scored 27-13. Pittsburgh didn't really show up. I was a little disappointed in them and the way that they played as well. I think that they made Philly's defense look better than it is, or maybe I just underestimate Philly's defense, but yeah, I don't know. It really maybe I'm just purely underestimating Philly, but either that or Pittsburgh really just didn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson only had a total of 128 yards, so it was either a great Philly defense or just Pittsburgh just not showing up on the offensive side. I mean, their top rusher was 14 yards from Najee Harris, followed by Russell Wilson at 13.
I will say that Philly has always had a good rushing defense. So, I mean, but not good enough to hold the guy to 14 yards. I mean, granted, they didn't commit to the run at all because they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really ugly game out of Pittsburgh, and if anybody had any faith in them to do something in the playoffs, seeing what they just did against one of the top teams is not convincing whatsoever. Because that's not it. They're not going to be able to. They're never going anywhere if that's all they have for a top team like the Eagles.
Yeah. All right. So we have what, 3 more weeks left?
Yeah.
3 more weeks left of the regular season. Let's go over to our super contest. Last week we got 3 correct.
Okay.
All right. So it's not as bad as getting none correct like we did that one week.
Hey, 3 out of 5 is good. I'll take 3 out of 5.
I believe last week we were at about 2,600. We moved down about 2,400 now. So I think I would like, realistically, if we can get under 1,000 or at 1,000, that'd be great. We just we need one more, we need 3 more, but 3 more 5 out of 5 picks. Last week we picked the Rams correct. We got the Browns incorrect. I think that was me. The Commanders we both picked. For some reason, they just were able to stick with the Commanders.
Yeah, they shit the bed.
We got the Bengals correct. They beat them by 10.
Yep.
And we got the Broncos correct. Oh, so we didn't pick the Ravens. Damn it. Ravens was one of the picks I thought we picked.
No, because they had like that plus 17, remember? It was like something.
Yeah, they beat them by like 20.
Yeah, but we know we were kind of like, no, let's not do that.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to this week. Just fading the Bears. Whoever the Bears play, taking whomever it is. No. All right, Broncos at Chargers. Chargers -3.
That's interesting. I am actually really strong on Broncos in that game.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why they're favoring the Chargers. The Chargers, I mean, I guess their defense is played well, but the Broncos have a good defense as well. And the Broncos offense is just playing at such a higher efficiency right now that I would 100% lean Broncos.
Sean Payton, right? Is coaching the Broncos.
Yes, sir.
Remember when everybody was telling him that he was crazy for getting rid of Wilson?
Yeah. And Bo Nix is playing better than Wilson right now, actually.
Texans at Chiefs. Chiefs -2.5. And now we don't know if Golden Boy is playing or not. So that'll definitely change if he is not playing.
Yeah. So I don't know.
If anything, I would take the Texans right now and just bet on that Mahomes isn't playing. And if he is, then you change the pick. Because if it changes to Mahomes isn't playing, then there's going to be points coming Texans' way.
I don't know. I don't like it, period.
All right. Steelers at Ravens. Ravens -6. Tough game. They
Steelers beat them last time, right?
Yeah, they play each other pretty well, too. I mean, but last time was Steelers did win. I think it was a low-scoring game, if I remember correctly. Eagles at Commanders. Eagles -3.
I mean, the way the Eagles are playing, they're just a better team right now. So I think the Eagles take that.
Browns at Bengals. Bengals -7.5. I mean, I have to go with Joe Burrow over a rookie QB that you don't know anything about.
Hey, so he's not a rookie, but he definitely is not it. I 100% agree, especially with Chubb being gone. And
right,
I agree. I think the Bengals are just a better team right now, and they take that.
Giants at Falcons. Who cares? Well, Falcons actually is benching Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they are.
Which is surprising.
Penix, whatever his name is, Penix Jr. or something like that.
Detroit at Lions -6.5.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really surprised that the Lions aren't favored more than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised.
I'm not betting that game because I'm gonna root for the Bears, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cardinals at Panthers. Cardinals -4. Tennessee at Colts. Colts -3.5.
Yeah, the one I just don't care.
Yep. Rams at Jets. Rams -3.5.
And I called it last week. I think the Rams are going to win out the rest of the season and make a run into the playoffs. So I have the Rams.
Okay. Vikings at Seahawks. Vikings -3.
I like it. I like the Vikings. I would take the Vikings.
For some dumbass reason, I like the Seahawks. Patriots at Bills. Bills -14.
Why would you? That's a lot of points, but
it is a lot of points.
I mean, they're just literally devouring everybody.
Lions couldn't stop them. No way in hell the Patriots are going to be able to stop them.
Right. So it's like I don't hate it. It's a lot of points, but I would probably take the Bills.
Jags at Raiders. Who the hell cares? But
Disgusting.
Jags are -0.5.
At this point, I almost feel like the Raiders are literally just throwing. I think they're throwing intentionally, and they're trying to get a better or worse record than the Giants, so that way they can take Shedeur Sanders #1 overall, because right now they don't get him because the Giants have the worst record. And yeah, I feel like the Giants are just throwing. So Jags are 100% going to win that game.
Okay. 49ers at Miami. Miami -1. Bucks at Cowboys. Bucks -4.
Yep. Bucks should win that game, but I don't know.
Saints at Packers. Packers -14.
Holy.
That's a lot of points. I like the Packers in the game, but I don't like the -14.
I don't like -14 either. I mean, the Saints, they're not great. I get they have a backup. I mean, maybe that's the factor of they don't know if Kamara is going to play because he literally is their offense. That's interesting. That has to be a factor if they don't think Kamara is going to play. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
First game we both agree on is Bengals at Browns. Bengals -7.5.
With it.
All right. Second game we agree on is, I agree with you on the Rams at Jets. I'll take the Rams -3.5. The third one that we agree on,
you don't like the Eagles?
I don't hate it. Let me see if there's anything different. Bills or Patriots?
I mean, I that's rough. I would rather one of the other ones.
It's rough. Bucks over Cowboys?
No.
You think
I'd rather
the
Bills? I'd rather the Bills.
Okay. Bills -14.
You really don't like the Eagles over the Commanders at -3?
No.
Interesting.
I have more confidence in the Bills.
Okay, go with the Bills.
All right. And this week's who's your pick going to be?
Oh, I mean, that's easy. Broncos at +3.
Okay. You're so high and tight about the Eagles. Why didn't you pick the Eagles?
I mean, I'm good on either one of them, to be honest with you.
Okay. And
that's why I was pushing you to take the Eagles, though, is because I was big on that game. I knew I was going to take that game.
Gotcha. I knew I was going to take this game the whole time. Bucks over the Cowboys. Bucks -4.
Yeah, I figured that. Why would I give you that? I figured you were going to.
All right, so we got Bengals.
I hope we go 4 for 5 because you go against my team.
You're an asshole.
Despite you, I should fucking get rid of the Broncos and go.
No, I'm picking up that Williams dude off waivers right now.
Go with Detroit. You don't need. The funny thing is you don't even have the right name, so it doesn't.
Or whatever. I'm just gonna look up the roster chart, the roster depth chart. All right, so we got the Bengals -7.5, Rams -3.5, Bills -14, Broncos +3 and Buccaneers -4.
I like it.
All right.
4 for 5.
Let's see. There was UFC on. I did call it completely wrong. Joaquin Buckley fucking made Colby Covington look like a red mural. Like, it was just nasty how much blood was coming out of Colby's head.
Well, because they completely sliced his eyelid, right? Like, I think I saw that the doctor, when she came in, she goes, if they continue this fight, he's gonna lose his eyelid because of how deep it was, and it just was gonna take like one more hit for it to sever it.
That's nasty.
Yeah, he got just beat to shred, and Buckley didn't even look like he got touched up much. I don't know what the overall stats were on the fight, but Buckley, yeah, he handled him.
We don't have UFC on this week. We don't have UFC for the next couple of weekends, I don't believe, until January 11th when Mackenzie Dern is fighting. We got Usyk versus Tyson Fury #2. Did you watch that first fight?
No, I did not.
Do you remember it?
I didn't even know that any boxing happened.
Okay. So Usyk Tyson Fury fights this weekend. For the record, I think Usyk is going to win. I don't think.
Oh, you said it's happening this weekend. I thought you were okay.
Correct. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the 21st. Yeah, 21st. Yeah. I gotta figure out what time it starts at because it's in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, I believe Usyk will win that fight. There's some other fights coming down the road early next year that we can get into, but I don't think Tyson Fury is the same Tyson Fury as of old. I think he's lost a step for sure. I think Usyk is a little bit quicker, obviously, and he won the first fight. So I don't see anything that Fury's done recently that would make me want to choose Usyk or Fury. I'm sorry. All right. Before we go into,
because I know you don't follow what do you think about, because obviously you're Brady.
Don't talk to me about don't talk to me about esports. I don't follow esports. Please don't talk to me about that shit.
What? No, college football. And
I'm still trying to figure out a team to root for.
Well, I'm talking about Belichick going to UNC, so they made it official. Belichick is going to UNC.
He said it was going to be treated as like a NFL portal. If you can get through him, then you can become a NFL professional. You know, I'm interested to see what happens. You never. I don't know anybody that knows UNC football.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a. If you're thinking of Belichick going to the college football, you're thinking of him going to a prominent school for football, not UNC. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see it. He also took Mike Lombardi, who is part of the VEASAN network, who also used to be a GM in the football in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm glad to see he's working again. I don't know. I mean, we need a head coach. Was Bill Belichick the right person for us? Probably not, but I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up by somebody else in the NFL. Granted, I know Tom Brady haters want to say it was Tom Brady's doing for his success, but I mean, he was a coach. He did, his teams were always pretty disciplined, no nonsense, no drama outside the, football field.
Well, I think that's why he'll do great in college, right? Because that type of program that he runs in the NFL, I think it almost fits better in college. And he's gonna go get guys that are gonna be interesting. So yeah, I think it will be. I'm very curious how it's going to operate. If there's gonna be a lot of guys that are like, I want to transfer to UNC for like maybe my first year or two and get some coaching under Belichick, and then maybe go to a prominent school for the later in there, because that transfer portal feels like in college football, and I don't know if you're familiar with it at all, but I mean, it feels like players are just constantly transferring from one school to the other, every single season, and it's, I don't know, in a way, it's almost like it's getting out of hand. And they might need to put some control on that, but I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
He
But yeah,
started in 1975 as a Baltimore Colts special assistant.
yeah.
And since then, until 2023, he was in the NFL. So he's never had any collegiate experience in coaching in a college atmosphere. Obviously, he knows the atmosphere. I mean, right, recruiting and stuff like that. But for him to recruit high school seniors and things like that, or juniors, or even sophomores, like getting into that world of
Yeah.
recruiting is totally different than, colleges, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, hey, if Dion can do it, Belichick can do it, right?
That's true. No, that's very true.
But Dion's also a different type of guy. Like, he's going to be a player's coach, while Belichick's going to run a system. He's going to be more NFL ready. So I don't know. It's a little bit different the way they operate. But
what happens with Dion? Does he leave with his son? Can he contractually? I don't even know his contract, but
I don't know. I'm assuming so. They can.
You don't think Jerry Jones would open up a special coaching spot for Dion to come back if his son gets drafted by the Cowboys?
Dude, as a fan, I would love to see Dion, but I just don't know. I don't know. I guess I just don't. I felt like he's better fit for college than he is to coach in the NFL. Truly. So I don't know. I'd honestly be on the fence. I'd be on the fence to see, like, because I feel like it's I mean, honestly, when you're hiring somebody, you're taking a risk no matter what. But I think there's more risk in taking Deion Sanders and bringing him to an NFL coaching position than there is with finding somebody that's better fit, like an OC from one of these top offenses in the NFL that are operating at a high level. I feel like I prefer to see one of those as a head coach currently, the Cowboys, than
what about Lane Kiffin?
Are you just picking random names now? Do you even know who Lane
just,
Kiffin is?
Just a random name that I just thought, well, I mean, I know who he is, but yes, it is random.
I don't know. I haven't really given much thought, to be honest, on who, because it's Jerry, and who knows what the hell Jerry is going to do. With my luck, to be honest with you, he's going to bring back McCarthy again for another season.
Here's my thing. Why doesn't Tony Dungy coach? Am I like, why doesn't he ever coach? He should come back to the Bears. He should go to the Bears.
I don't think he wants to coach.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to, but
I think it honestly might have to do with some health issues.
But
in all honesty, I feel like coaching is getting younger and younger.
No, you're right. Sean McVay
is getting younger and younger, and I don't necessarily hate it, because, like, I mean, a lot of these older coaches they have a different mindset. They have a different way of playing the NFL and playing the game. Whereas these newer, younger coaches, they are operating it more in the now, with the offense being, with the different types of play calling and the way that the offenses operate, where guys like McCarthy and Belichick, and they're just too old school. Their offenses don't run, at a quality enough level that I think they just don't have enough in them.
I remember when Mike McDaniel got called to be the coach for the Dolphins. Everyone was giving him criticism because how young he was and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Granted, he still does look like a young kid. I mean, he's older than us, but still.
Yeah, it's funny seeing them run up and down the field and do certain things. That's like, you look like a young, spry little buck out there just running up and down the field doing certain things. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got this week. Hopefully everybody's getting their Christmas shopping done. I haven't done any.
Like I said, haven't done any? Oh my!
Still haven't done. I've been procrastinating to the fullest. I will hopefully get some done this weekend, but knowing me, it'll all be done on the 24th at 8 o'clock, right before the school, right before or whenever the stores close.
That's wild.
But
8 o'clock and on the 24th, and you're gonna wrap everything in bags, so that way you just drop it in and put some paper.
Yep, exactly. Just use all the Amazon boxes that we have here. All right, dude. I'll talk to you next week. Peace.
All right, later.
The Tony Tones world.